Welcome back to our series of biblical integration into non-biblical classes. And we're going to deal with the subject that when teachers were surveyed said was the hardest to connect the Bible to, and that is math. And I think that makes sense if we just look at it at the onset. Incorporating the Bible into math seems difficult. And doesn't Jesus hate math? He fed 5,000 people using 2 fish and 5 loaves of bread and somehow ended with 12 baskets full at the end of it. What about the Trinity? There's one God expressed in 3 persons. This seems to be anti-math. But I hope we can see that there actually is some great biblical principles and great biblical concepts that we get to bring out specifically in math class. I think number one is we're dealing with absolutes here. Math is true no matter what, no matter when, no matter where. 2 plus 2 always equals 4. And it reveals a part of the nature of God in that He is consistent. And when mathematicians of yesteryear and scientists of yesteryear, when they theorized if God exists, there would be order to the universe. There would be mathematical foundational truths that our universe was built on. And that's exactly what we found. I like to point out that something as complex as the theory of relativity, we all at least know the formula, E equals mc squared. There's a lot of simplicity in the complexity of the universe because God is a God that designed a universe of order. And this is what the scientists from years ago, from hundreds of years ago, theorized would be true if there was a creator. And we get to bring that out in math class. I think it's probably pretty similar, but the second idea is the faithfulness of God. When I remember having to memorize, postulates and theorems. I don't even know if I'm saying that word right. I'm a pastor. We don't do with math much. We memorize these things, and this is true no matter what, no matter when, no matter where. Here in China, in Africa, in Asia, with smart people, with dumb people, with people with degrees, and with people with that have never been to school in their entire life. These truths are always true, no matter what. And that is how God operates with His promises. When God makes a promise, it's true no matter what. No matter what people group we're talking about, no matter what religion they were maybe a part of in the past, when God makes a promise, He keeps a promise. He is always, always faithful. And lastly, I think there's actually some mathematical concepts that actually help explain God. I remember when I was in high school, we were just learning about array, that it is a singular point that then is a line that heads in one direction for eternity. So it has a starting point, but then is eternal in one direction. Isn't that what we are? When God created us, He created us with a soul, and that we have a beginning, but then we will live eternally. We will exist eternally, either in heaven or hell. And when we look at God, there's an eternity in the past and an eternity in the future, and I guess maybe even space would be the way to describe God, eternally in every direction. But there's concepts of infinity that even though we can't fully understand and explain it with our brain, we have mathematical principles and symbols and truths that can get at least our head around it in some way. And what we can do here in math class is bring out some of these concepts of God that really are best taught in that class and not any other. So yes, you can incorporate the Bible into math class.